All right. Hello, everybody. It's Kristina. I am starting our first ever roundtable talk for IWNG. And in case you don't know us, IWNG is International Women's Networking Group. And our goal is to connect women entrepreneurs and expats to each other and to help them empower themselves and each other. So we do a lot of collaboration and learning and sharing knowledge. And yeah, we have a lot of interesting programming coming up throughout the year. Every month is going to have a new theme, and this month's theme is wellness. So that's what we're talking about today with some of our members who are also wellness experts. And if you want to learn more about IWNG, you can find us at iwng.nl. And we're also on Facebook. You can join our group. There's a little button to join the group in our Facebook page. And if you're a woman, expat, entrepreneur, all of the above, you're welcome to join. Local women are also welcome as well. Okay, so let's get to it. The first speaker that we have today is Siobhan Milner. She's founder of Athletic Performance and Rehab, and she is going to talk to us about why it is so important to keep on moving even though we're stuck inside because of the pandemic. So that's also a reason we're doing this today, is to talk to people about their experience. So if you want to comment, because we know everybody has different experience, maybe you've been forced to take a break, maybe you've had to work extra hard. So that's why we have a variety of people also to give you different options of ways that you can stay healthy and balanced. All right, so let's get started. Well, I hope you can hear me better. Let me bring up Siobhan.
Hi. I'm just going to talk for about 10 seconds and see if people can hear me okay as well. Is it coming through? Or still, I see someone saying still crackling. I'll talk for a little bit, and if we have any issues, let me know. Okay, cool. So my name is Siobhan. I run my own company focusing on strength and conditioning and rehab. I actually also run a dance company. So I'll be talking more from the athletic performance and kind of rehab side. But yeah, it's nice to talk to you all. Oh, I can't hear anything. So I'm not sure if I should just keep going. Okay, I'm going to chat then. Because I can see that other people can hear me, but Kristina's just vanished. So, okay, cool, perfect. I'm going to talk essentially about why it's really important to keep moving, even when you can't access a gym, because I know for a lot of people, the pandemic has really thrown our routines off. And it's sometimes like you even have less time when you're at home, and especially when you're an entrepreneur and we're trying to juggle all of these changing regulations, especially if we usually work with clients. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about why we should move first of all, and then some practical tips, because I know that we all know that we're supposed to move, but often those guidelines don't necessarily fit our lifestyle. So I want to try and give you some tips to actually make it fit into your really busy lifestyle too. So I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of pretty much all of the benefits of keeping moving. So one of the ones that I think is really important for us as business people in particular is it improves learning and cognitive function. So if we want to stay on top of our A game when it comes to our business, we want to make sure that our cognitive function is at its best. It increases our bone density. So I know this is the International Women's Networking Group, especially for women as we get older, especially later when we're moving into post-menopause, we're at much higher risk for things like osteoporosis than men are. So it's really important for our bone health to keep moving as well. I think a lot of us also know that exercise and movement decreases our risk of cardiovascular disease. It decreases our risk of type 2 diabetes. If you're someone with type 2 diabetes, it also helps regulate your blood sugar levels and helps insulin work better. It decreases our blood pressure. It increases our sexual function. Sexual function, when we're sexually active, also helps decrease our stress levels, so that's important too. It reduces our risk of at least 8 different types of cancers, and it decreases our risk of death from any cause. So people who are active for about 2.5 hours a week experience a decreased risk of 33% of death from any cause compared to people who are inactive. But one thing I'm going to talk about as well, I just saw a comment, yay, sex, good. One thing I'm going to talk about as well is sometimes I think because of the physical activity guidelines that exist, sometimes we get into this all or nothing mindset. Like, okay, I don't have time for 30 minutes or I don't have time for 60 minutes, so I'm not going to do anything. And I think that doesn't serve us at all, because the benefits for things like this decreased risk of death, they start to be seen with any amount of moderate or vigorous activity per week. So some exercise is always better than none. But what I think is kind of really exciting for entrepreneurs, or especially important for business people, is that exercise reduces our stress hormones. And the current literature actually says that exercise while thinking about the stresses, so maybe thinking about the tax office, or maybe thinking about, communicating all of the changes to your students, if you usually work with students at the moment. If you are thinking about the things that stress you while you exercise, it reduces your stress even further. So there's a great book that I really recommend that people read. It's called Burnout, and it's by Emily and Amelia Nagoski. I think it came out last year, so it's pretty recent. But there's a really great quote from this book that I really would like to share. So it is, physical activity is what tells your brain you have successfully survived the threat and now your body is a safe place to live. Physical activity is the most efficient strategy for completing the stress response cycle. So for me, given the current climate, I think this is what gets me excited. I want to have my stress levels under control, and I want to operate my business from a place of calm. And of course, stress comes at us every day. So it's not like we're going to exercise and stress is gone forever, but stress is held in our bodies. This is why we end up with things like plaque in arteries. We see that much more in people with stress. So if we can get some of that stress out of our body through physical activity, I think that's a great thing. Okay, so I'm going to get to how we put this into practice, because like I say, not all of us have time to do 30 minutes a day, and also not all of us necessarily like traditional exercise. So the first thing I always suggest, especially to people who are working in desk jobs, is to incorporate movement breaks into your day. If anyone's read the book Rest or Shorter, there's also a lot of evidence that taking more breaks during the day actually makes you more productive. So I think the stat was something around 45 minutes is our attention span. And then after that, we need a little break and we switch over. So we usually tell people to try and move for 5 minutes every hour. But in practice, that's actually usually a bit hard. So I tell people to aim for 5 minutes every 2 hours, because even the entrepreneurs I work with, they say, yeah, I think I can do that. And they come back and they're like, things got crazy. So consider putting movement breaks into your day. Maybe it just means walking around the house for a few minutes. Maybe it means putting on your favorite song and having a dance in the living room. Another thing that can be really helpful is progressive muscle relaxation. This is essentially where, and some of you might know this from some sorts of kind of meditation practices too, you contract all of your muscles as hard as you can, so you're shaking, and you progressively release. So if you, there are different ways to do this. You can kind of start up the body and travel down. But if you are really stressed and you need to get it out a little bit, one easy way can be just contracting all of your muscles really, really tensely for 20 seconds, thinking about the thing that stressed you, and then at the end releasing it with a big sigh. Because as I say, we complete the stress response cycle through physicality. So it's not even necessarily just running away from the lion. It can also be things like singing or sighing or crying. This is why crying does feel good, because it completes that stress response cycle. It doesn't necessarily solve the stress, but it completes that cycle. So that's another thing. So we've got movement breaks during the day, contract and release of muscles. This is one that I really like. I'm breaking this rule right now. I will purposefully leave my phone in another room during the day so that if it goes off, I have to walk to it to look at it, and then I leave it there and I walk back. That's also what I do to make sure I get up for my alarm in the morning too. I leave it in another room. But so think of things like that you kind of force yourself to just change position, because especially people I work with things like back pain and shoulder pain, strengthening those muscle groups obviously helps support those joints, but just changing position is something that really, really helps with keeping your joints healthy. So changing positions not only good just for, letting us loosen up a little, it really helps keep our body in top condition. So the other thing is find what you enjoy. And I think this is maybe easier said than done. I have a lot of people tell me I just hate exercise. But maybe think, do you like going for a walk while you listen to a podcast? Do you like putting on Beyonce and dancing around your living room? Find something that is maybe a little different, and don't feel, I think a lot of people in the lockdown as well, they started running because they were like, I'm going to run. But you don't have to run. You can do whatever you like. Find something that kind of fits with you. And then the last thing that I'm going to say again is all or nothing thinking doesn't serve you. Any amount of movement will help you. So movement breaks, contract, release, leaving stuff in another room, maybe dancing it out instead of going for a run if that's not what serves you. And remember, anything counts. So I want you to try and move away from the idea of, I've missed my workout, I don't have 30 minutes, and consider thinking about just moving for 5 minutes. I like to put on a timer sometimes to make myself do things. So those are my tips.
Amazing. Thank you, Siobhan.
Welcome.
Is my sound any better?
I think so. You're not crackly now.
Okay. All right, great. That was really some really great tips. And that's really interesting about the completing that cycle, because I always feel like I have that fight or flight thing going and I can't make it stop. So yeah, I think that's interesting to hear that physical activity can kind of complete that cycle. Very interesting. Well, thank you so much, Siobhan. I appreciate you coming and talking to us. And I think there's a little bit of a lag. Sorry about that. Yeah. All right. So I am going to, let's see, bring up, bring up our next speaker. And this is going to be a lot of fun. We have Mel, the dopamine chef. She is going to show us she's going to show us a demo on making something chocolatey. And let me go ahead and bring up Mel. Hello.
Can you probably unmute myself? That would help, wouldn't it?
Awesome. Well, glad to have you. Yes, I can hear you.
Brilliant. I'm super excited to be here. I've made some notes so that I don't forget what I'm about to say. The first thing I'm going to do is just quickly get my chocolate melting, and then I will tell you a little bit about how you can turn your ordinary supermarket bought chocolate into something that is actually going to love your body back. So let me just do this quickly. So I'm going to pour some boiling water into a saucepan and just pop my chocolate over the top to melt it. I've got, I don't know if you can see here, about 50 grams of chocolate. And while that melts, I'm going to tell you a little bit about why chocolate is amazing. Not that you need any convincing, right? Chocolate, when we're entrepreneurs, is our best friend. We reach for it when we're stressed. We reach for it when we have something to celebrate. We reach for it when things are super uncertain. I know I certainly do. And I also reach for it when I've got a huge, crazy workload and I need something to motivate me through. But unfortunately, most of the chocolate that you can find in the supermarket doesn't serve you. It contains a lot of sugar, and the result is that it might taste amazing, but then it doesn't do your body much good. Because of the sugar, you're going to end up with a blood sugar rise and fall. And when your blood sugar is doing this, your mood is going to be doing something similar. So if you want to stay calm and relaxed, your blood sugar is something that you're going to have to get under control. And unfortunately, well, mostly chocolate is something that is going to do this to your blood sugar. But if you can mix it with certain ingredients that can stabilize that, then you've got something that's very interesting. You've got the delicious chocolate without the spike. Sorry, I've gone slightly off my notes. Okay, how do you choose the best chocolate? The one that I'm using today is chocolate that I made because I'm the dopamine chef and I make chocolate, but you don't need to make your own chocolate from scratch to create chocolate that's good for you. You can pick organic and very dark chocolate from the health food shop or the supermarket. The reason you really should go for organic is because cacao is one of those crops that's heavily sprayed, a bit like coffee. And because it's quite a fatty fruit, I suppose it is a fruit, because it's quite fatty, it absorbs and retains all of those pesticide residues, which means if you're buying non-organic chocolate, you're also ingesting pesticide residues, and that's a shame. Again, taking it back to us as businesswomen, you know, pesticide residues, things like that can be neurotoxic, so they don't do our brain any good. So definitely go for organic. Go for the darker ones as well, at least 70%, because obviously if there's more cacao, there's less sugar. And finally, if you can, fair trade. Unfortunately, the cacao industry is one that's quite harsh on its workers. There's a lot of child slavery. So if you can go for fair trade, if you can go for a chocolate brand that has good corporate and social responsibility, then that's even better. On my blog, there is an article all about chocolate where I do share some of the best brands that you can go for. Okay, I'm looking at this and it's almost melted. I wish that you were here because it smells so good. I don't know if you can see this melted chocolate. I wonder if this is better if I do this. Maybe. So we've got melted chocolate, and what can you add to it to make it even better? And I thought I would improvise, because this is actually what I end up doing of an evening if I suddenly get the feeling that I want something chocolatey and I don't want pure chocolate. I think, what can I do? So let me show you some of the ingredients that you could add to this melted chocolate to make it chocolate that loves you back. First thing you could add is some nut butters. So I've got hazelnut butter here. You could add a bit of this, and then that would give you almost a Ferrero Rocher kind of chocolate. Almond is always a really good flavor and is a favorite of mine. When you mix that to the chocolate, it almost gives it a biscuity flavor, which is rather delicious. And then the classic, I think we can all agree that chocolate and peanut butter are a match made in heaven. Now, the really interesting thing about peanut butter, adding that to the chocolate, is peanuts aren't nuts. Maybe many of you already know this. They're actually a legume, a bit like lentils. And the reason that this is interesting is when you combine legumes like peanuts with a grain like oats, you get a complete protein. And when you've got a complete protein, well, your body really appreciates that. So it's not getting just chocolate, it's getting protein as well. So it's serving you. Okay, so I'm wondering, like, what should I do? What should I add? Now that I've told you about peanuts, I feel like I should, but I'm kind of in the mood for hazelnut. I'm kind of in the mood for a Ferrero Rocher, you know, something a little bit naughty. Just to show you as well, you do not need to be super precise. So we've got about 50 grams of melted chocolate, which is about half a bar. And then to that, you can add I'd say a nice heaped, like this, a heaped teaspoon of nut butter. And then I'm going to put the chocolate in there. Oh, I'm not prepared. 1 second. Here we go. You can add this. And then the other thing that you can add to this is something like a crushed nuts or crushed seeds, just for extra texture. And we'll see if we can do that in a second. So just add your melted chocolate to your nut butter. And what this is going to do, so not only you're adding something, you're adding a bit of protein, you're adding a bit of fiber, which means that your blood sugar levels are not going to go up and down like they would with normal sugar. And in terms of texture, this is going to be lovely because it's kind of softens the chocolate, makes it a little bit fudgy. So you can set it in the fridge, leave it in there, and once it's ready, it's almost like your own healthy chocolate fudge. So as you can see, can you see? It's beginning to kind of mix together. Just see how quick this is, like literally melt the chocolate, add nut butter, almost done. So it's almost like a thick liquid. And I'm sure it tastes pretty good as well. Now, you could just leave it there. You could just add the nut butter and then pour it into your mold, pop it in the fridge and finished. But I want to take it to the next level. And that next level is by adding superfoods. Now, again, here you have a choice. My personal favorite, well, I have two actually that I thought I would share with you. One of them is Maca Powder. Maca is actually a root vegetable, believe it or not, but it's fantastic for giving you energy and it's great for balancing your hormones as well. Flavor profile wise, it has almost like a savory caramel note, which works quite well both with peanut butter and with chocolate. Depends on the brand that you go for. This brand I really like, it's called Organic Burst. You can find it online. And the next superfood that I like to add, so this one will give you energy, the maca will boost you up, and CBD on the other hand will kind of relax you. So this is a good one. You know, I think we can all agree that we're all a little bit stressed and a little bit anxious, whether it's because of our businesses or whether it's because of COVID or both. And I found that CBD really just reduces my stress levels, helps me cope with everything. So once you've exercised, like Siobhan was telling us to do, and you've made your chocolate treat, how can you take it to the next level and get even more relaxed? A few drops of CBD. Obviously, you don't have to add this. I think I will, though. This is going to be my chocolate treat for later on. Why not? One little dropper of CBD. Right, so once you've added everything that you want to add to this chocolate, you just mix it up and then, well, you can either pour it into molds, like me, like little heart molds, because I'm a hopeless romantic, or if you don't have silicone molds, that's not a problem either. You can just grab any container, line it with baking paper, pour it in, pop it in the fridge, and you're done. So there you have it. Hopefully, if I do this, pop it in the fridge, and at the end of the call, I'll be able to show you that it's worked. Just having a look through my notes, have I missed anything? Did I mention why chocolate is amazing? So, first reason is it gives you energy. It contains something called theobromine, which is similar to caffeine, so it boosts you up, but dissimilar to caffeine insofar as it doesn't give you the jitters, and sometimes too much coffee, you know how we can get a little bit, it can get a bit intense. So if you're trying to kind of switch away from caffeine into, you know, different stimulating things, you could try green tea, but you can also try cacao. A hot chocolate in the morning, sugar-free, will give you that nice focus burst. And sorry, I'm just reading the notes. The other thing that's amazing about chocolate is also it contains tryptophan. Tryptophan is an essential amino acid that your body uses to make serotonin. And as we all know, serotonin is one of our happy chemicals. As long as your levels of serotonin are topped up, you're much better able to deal with everything that's happening in your life with a smile on your face. And finally, we shouldn't be fat phobic. Our brain is 60% fat, and cacao has good fats as well. And that's why you should definitely eat more chocolate. Have I run out of time?
Yeah, you have some more time.
I think I'm done anyway. I'm going to pour these in the molds and pop them in the fridge and wait for them to come out.
Amazing. Yeah, it's so sad that we can't be there in person to taste the results.
It's okay. Don't worry. I'll eat them for you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And so, Mel, you have a new web shop now, don't you?
I do, yeah. I am making and selling organic vegan chocolates, and I've had a few orders. It's been ongoing since the beginning of January. It's super exciting, and watch out because I'm doing a complete redesign and doing some new Valentine's Day products. So here comes chocolate heaven. Willy Wonka is back in town.
Yes, I'm super excited. All right, great. Yeah, I've been checking out your Instagram. Everybody should check out her Instagram. It's at Dopamine Chef, right?
It is, yeah. Thank you.
Very colorful and tempting, very tempting. But hey, delivery. There's always delivery, so that's great.
Yes, there is. Yeah, we can always post.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming, and we're going to go on to our next person. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to call up Irene, who is a friend of mine who's been coming to IWNG meetup since the very beginning, and she has an amazing program for expats. And I attended some of her workshops and gatherings, and we've done a lot of collaborating together as well. And so I'm really excited to have you here, Irene.
Yay, beat me up, Kristina. Yeah, thank you for this space to in the round table. And I thought, because I'm inspired by Siobhan with the movement, and also by Mel's cooking of chocolate. But I thought we can start actually with just wherever you are, just stretch your body, and if you like to make yourself big, whatever that means to you. Kind of to get this the hormones back in line. Well, okay. So my name is Irene Anggreni. So I'm originally from Indonesia, and I've been with the IWNG actually from pretty much from the start, because it was for me the community, the connection, that's really important. I founded Expat Wellbeing in 2018, and just briefly about my background. I promise to be very brief. So I came to the Netherlands actually as an engineer and academic expat. And throughout this personal journey, I struggled with my mental health. But I'm also a survivor. So I'm proud to say that I've overcome depression, and this is also the catalyst, why I started this whole thing that's been giving me a beautiful journey. So and if you think of it, this past year, this. There's so much going on, and we're also now we're in the second lockdown. It is also inviting us to a lot of soul searching, because that's my own process throughout the. Okay, when bit funny again, but it seemed to stabilize when Irene appeared. Right. Let's hope it stays like this. All right, so. In my own process also, I'm I run Expat Wellbeing, and I've been I've been reinventing myself also, because before this whole social distancing age, I was I have my programs, of course, in physical location. I work as a dance movement psychotherapist, and I have my group programs. And yeah, throughout this period, like I've been actually I've been speaking with a lot of people, like yeah, what are they dealing with, and what are kind of the issues that they want to address, because it's also kind of this there's this sense of um, yeah, isolation or sense of loneliness, and at the same time we have also a lot of things like coming up from our yeah from this time, like being very close to ourselves, um, and these were kind of things that before the pandemic, like we could probably very easily yeah, dismiss, like okay, we can focus on our work, going to our office, uh, or doing yeah, meeting our friends or doing social activities. But now that those options are kind of like shrinking, like that we are kind of faced with this okay, like there is so much going on inside of us, and there's yeah, there's this feeling of kind of um, that is also very challenging to connect with others. So that's actually kind of the yeah, the kind of our collective challenge that I feel is it is very uh, it's not only limited to here, but I hear this also from people from all corners of the world. So and that's also kind of what drives me to kind of restart, to relaunch um, my yeah, kind of creative arts therapy program uh, in an online platform. So that's yeah, like we hear like a lot of self-care practices, like and we will hear some more after my talk. But it's also kind of this feeling of that we don't have to do all this alone. Like what if like you have the accountability, you have the supportive community around you to actually yeah, also kind of to practice together in our path of growing. So yeah, and this whole thing was a kind of bit of an experiment to me because in the beginning I wasn't sure also, like because I work like in a very physical way, and also it's integrating the body, the mind, the emotions as well. Like yeah, how would it work like in the if it's like online? So but yeah, this past Christmas and New Year holiday period, so I've launched my first program. So that's the first cohort of the Tribe program. The theme is really coming home to ourselves, and this has worked really well actually. And yeah, the people who joined, like they really felt like kind of this safety, this emotional safety, like that it is kind of their ground also to discover themselves and to grow from there, and also to heal. But it is very much like this, the being able to share with other people who doesn't judge, who also practice to be compassionate. That's what yeah, that's very healing in itself. So yeah, that's what I want to mention actually. Like this is a kind of still like I haven't like promoted really big. I just wanted to kind of to invite people personally, and yeah, as members of IWNG, like then like this program is going to continue in February again, and it's really about yeah, the theme is about self healing with compassion. And I think this compassion element is especially important. Yeah, because quite often I notice this in myself also. Like, okay, I want to heal, I want to grow, I want it now. kind of, I can be very harsh to myself and impatient when something doesn't move fast, and that's kind of the idea of it, that we have like the kind of the the safe container in a group, in this tribe, that yeah we carry together the process. And there's a bit of to give you an idea, it's kind of a mix. It's a 6 weeks journey, and it's a mix of yeah, I'm clinically trained as a creative arts therapist, so that will be kind of the elements also. But there's also like very hands-on mindfulness practice, embodiment practice in the sessions, and there's also like a very genuine and creative way of connecting within the community. And so far, the people who have joined are, I'm also inspired by them, because they are seasoned professionals. They are also kind of community leaders, community builders, and they are aware of that inner process themselves, that to be able to continue serving and inspiring others, like they need also to do this inner work, and they need to work also to allow that support to be able to kind of lean in to yeah to a community. Um, so that's to give you a kind of a glimpse about this tribe program. And I thought it's also relevant to mention, because I'm aware not everyone is up for this. Like it's probably it doesn't fit you right now. I'm also doing kind of once a month, like on Internations, this platform for internationals, global minds. So once a month on Internations, I host pro bono event actually, and this is more for peer support event, so peer support group that I facilitate people who probably you may just need that kind of aspect of connection, and not just connection on the superficial level, but more on the deeper level, that you can connect heart to heart. And that's what I'm facilitating in this pro bono activities. So the idea is that, okay, like you experience, you get some practical tools also, how to ask or how to give or how to receive support in a balanced way, and that you can self-organize among your own clusters, like how you can be of support to each other. And I think like, when I hear like this, there's so much of the kind of, especially like perhaps like if you are here as as a business owner, like your life, like your focus also with business, um, and you're missing this kind of connection. So you're very welcome to to reach out to me, like either if you want to know about the tribe program, or you want to know about this peer support which I host pro bono. So I think that's what I can share for today. I don't know, like if you have some more questions, I can address them now or later.
Yeah. So, yeah, thanks for sharing about your program. Do you have any practical tips you can give people today, what they can do to help them kind of stay balanced and mentally healthy?
Yeah, I have
What
like
do you?
a very practical tips. Yes, thank you for inviting me to share this. It is something from the mindfulness practice, and very much the foundational practice, which is like just awareness of the breathing actually. So like I mean, we can do that with movement. That's probably kind of like more fitting at the moment. So if you like, you can do this with me. So with breathing in, you can bring your arms up, and then breathing out,
Let's
lower it down.
bring up a couple of the other ladies. We can do this together.
Yeah. So I'm just showing this because I'm synchronizing with my breathing. But you can check with your own breathing, so that you're aware, breathing in and breathing out as you release. And let's do that 2 more times. Yeah. And enjoy even this kind of this sensation of we are always like rising up and coming coming back to place when we are breathing in and out, and that's yeah, that also does a lot actually, like synchronizing, being aware of our breathing and doing movement. Yeah, we can still do that also throughout the session. It is also something very hands-on, like when we are feeling anxious or stressed. And you know, like what Siobhan mentioned, like it's not all or nothing. Like this kind of very simple exercises, tuning in with the breathing, that can be very healing. Also, that's kind of a good self-care practice.
Nice. Well, thank you for that.
You're very welcome. Thank you for joining me, these ladies.
Yeah. All right. So my computer is moving a little slow. I'm trying to get. Oh no. Just one moment. Saying that it does not want to respond, but it seems to be going. I just can't get anybody off the screen yet. Okay. Can you?
Oh,
Oh,
I think she lost connection.
Is there? Well, Anita, you're there. I don't know how to make you big.
Yes, I'm here.
What happens if I do this? No, that just stops it.
no camera. Yeah, if I stop cam.
Here
Okay.
she is.
Kristina again. She's back. She's
I think I just got too ambitious putting so many people on at once. my little Chromebook just can't handle it all. Okay, well, thank you so much, Irene, for your demonstration and for telling us about your program. It sounds amazing. You can find her at the website below here. And I'm going to keep Anita up here because Anita is our next speaker. So thank you, Irene. I will see you later. All right, and here we go. Hi, Anita.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. I'm very good actually. I'm very good.
Good.
I just had some rest, a little bit of rest in these last few weeks, so that's always good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think you were talking about that to me earlier about how important that is. So that's good to hear that you're practicing what you preach, because I know for a lot of us it's hard to do. We have lots of good tips.
It wasn't a challenge sometimes.
Yeah, cool. Well, Anita is the founder of Black Ladies Talk, and you have a group and which has multiple subgroups for like business, culture, and you also do coaching to help people upgrade their lives and their businesses. And so, do you want to tell us a little bit about what you do?
What do I do? What do I do? No. Well, what do I get out of my bed for every morning? That's how I like to say it. Well, my mission is to help people upgrade their lives. I think everybody deserves a happy life in which you are able to live your life the way you want to. And for me, the key to that is learning and development. But also with my platform, Black Ladies Talk, changing the socioeconomic status of the members of our groups. But when you look into our societies, there are several groups who need to have an upgrade in socioeconomic position or socioeconomic status. And I think it's the same for women actually also in general, that in the average, women have a lower socioeconomic status than when you compare it with men. So that's where I get my bed out for every day. Yeah, because people deserve to have a good life.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, so today we're talking about, of course, we have a lot of challenges recently, and and you and I were talking about different ways that we could move through this and still have, you know, the life that we want. So, what are the things that you're focusing on when it's or that you're teaching people right now to help them get through all of the different challenges, whether it's the pandemic, political, racial tension, all of the craziness that's been going on in the last year?
Well, we are living in challenging times. And I think the most important part of everything, especially now with the pandemic, is acceptance of the current situation. Because from there on, you can move further. But if you don't accept it, you can't move further. And that's why we see a lot of people struggling with the pandemic. So, for example, people say like, I do follow the rules, like 1.5 meter distance and everything. I do stay at home. But the thing is, although you do all of these things, but you still continue to work for your managers or your director the same way you used to, like before COVID, then you're not accepting. What you are doing is doing a challenge. And I'm really curious how long you're going to be able to keep this up, because it won't last forever. You're going to be exhausted at some point. And that's why we were talking about the importance of rest. It's very good to work. It's very good to work hard, especially to realize your goals. But one important part of that is also the part of rest, and actually planning your rest, planning your me time, just to charge. So I think it all starts with acceptance, like this is the way it is now. And well, there's a lot you can do, but you can't change the way that there's a pandemic. You just can't change that. So it does help if you're like, okay, this is the current situation. But despite of the current situation, what can we still do? So I did love the exercise we just did with the breathing. It remind me like when my daughter, she can be like fully tempered and really angry. And especially at these times when you're all at home all the time with each other, it can be challenging, especially for people with children. It can be really challenging to stay in balance and like I've got it all together. So especially at these times, and then she just reminds me what I do when my daughter is like really mad and really angry, and I can't get her to do like anything. I just go and sit and breathe with her. Just sit and breathe with her, just like we did, and just take her hand and like do some breathing. It calms me down, it calms her down, and after that, we can still have that good conversation. She's 3. She can talk very well. So we can have a very good conversations. But I think these kind of things are so important for us. So I do have some advice for people who are at home right now and like continue to having this challenge every day. I think just a few tips are like your plan. What's your plan for the day, for the week, for the month? What's your plan? And make it realistic. So if your to-do list is like with 30 bullet points for one day, and you've got your children around, you still have to do everything you do in a household, you won't make it. You just, it's not. And the thing is, when you've got all of these actions for yourself and you don't realize them, it doesn't make you feel fulfilled. So then you're gonna get like this. At some point, you're gonna get the negative self-talk, and that's the thing you don't want to have, because it doesn't help you, especially now. So it's very good to have like a to-do list for the day or the week or the month. but keep it realistic and be kind to yourself. Do, for example, like 3 really important things for the day, and that's it. Everything you can add on top of that, that's a bonus. So just give yourself credits for that. Another point is just plan your lunch also. The moments you're having dinner, whether it's breakfast or lunch, it's important. Take your time to do that and still plan that, and don't continue to work during the whole day. So you don't know where your work, when your work is starting and when it's ending, because then it's going to be like you're always working, and then you're also getting tired. Important thing, find a good mentor, coach, or somebody to talk to reflect with, just to have someone to let everything go, someone you trust, and someone you can have a good conversation with. Ask for help. It's just very simple, but ask for help. And sometimes we do find it challenging, and I'm one of these persons who like to think I can do it all by myself. But there are a lot of people who want to help. Just so go ask for help, and you'll see that it at the end of the day, it's so much better when you're asking for help, especially from the people around you. And we just started with this topic, and it was about rest. Take some rest. For example, for myself, I've got a little daughter, and she's almost 9 months old, but I still have to breastfeed her. So at night, when she comes, it happens that I can sleep the whole night. So, and sometimes she comes for like 2 or 3 times in one night. And well, the thing is, I'm so tired sometimes during the day. So now I thought, well, I can change that, because I do think I really want to breastfeed her, but I can take some time off during the day and just do like a power nap during the day, just to charge myself. And because I started doing that, I'm able to continue to work through the whole day. Normally, around an hour or like 4 in the afternoon, I would be exhausted, and that continued till at night. But it's important to take some rest and to charge, because especially at these hard times, we really need our rest. And this one is for all of the ladies. Say no. Learn to say no, and make your yes count. So whenever you say no, it's not because you don't want to do it, but it's because you can't give the best version of yourself. Remind that, because then it's more easy to say no. Most of the time, we really want to help other people, but if you can't help somebody fully, just say no. And then at the moment you say yes, then it fully counts. And then you really can help somebody good. So be a boss and just say no. And yes, these boundaries in there are so important, because that's that's the next point. Your boundaries. You have to take care of yourself. You have to be able to say, this is just as far as we go, and here it stops. So really set those boundaries for yourself, because when you go over them, it's very hard to come back. I'm talking really enthusiastic with my hands. So that's just important. And also now, especially now with the pandemic, there's so much you can learn. And I'm always learning. So when I listen to my podcast, or one of my new 10 books, or just an article about learning and development, or an article about well-being, I always try to learn something new, because it really makes me feel good about myself. And at the same time, I'm working on my profession. So, and it just keeps you open-minded, because the thing is, when you're not learning and you're just staying, when you're not learning, you're staying at the same level. That's the whole thing. And when I'm talking about upgrading is all about learning, applying, reaching that new level. And then again, you learn, you apply, reaching that new level. And you will fall, but because you're learning, you're also learning better how to fall. And that is what I think that's very important. And with Black Ladies Talk, I offer upgrade your life, and these are coachings in which we just we just work on your question, your challenge. You want me to work with you on, and I just walk with you. Like most of the time, we need like five sessions, except when we're having a very big challenge and it can take a bit longer. But most of the time, in like 5 sessions, we can work through these challenges, especially when you're in that flow of, I really want to change this. Then like 5 sessions, you're good. And with these kind of things, you upgrade your life. And the thing is, especially for women, you should only give from a cup which is full. If the cup is half full, then it will get empty. But if you fill that cup, and that's what you're doing with these tips I just gave you, with this advice I just gave you, you're filling your cup. And then you're going to spoil over, and you're going to give from what you have over and not empty your cup. So that's why these things are important. And like I said, ask for help, search for people to support you and who want to help you, but really also find somebody outside your house to talk with, and to just share your dreams, your fears, and everything. So you do have a place to let loose of everything, especially now. And when your cup is full, you can give forever. That's the whole thing. You can give forever. You're the best version of yourself for your partner, but also for yourself, for your children, and for everybody around you, for everybody you're connecting with. So whether it's your business or your profession, you can be the best version of you. And I think that is really important. And that's what I do, and that's why I also, come every day out of my bed to help people to be the best version of who they want to be. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, I like that terminology of upgrade. You know, everybody can kind of relate to what that means, and it's why not? Of course, you want to upgrade your life and your business. You don't always want to stay at the same level. But yeah, some really, really good tips there for sure, because I can totally relate to that, to the mental challenge that a lot of people are having, where it was, for me, it was a struggle between, okay, what do I do? Do I just like stop everything and kind of wallow in misery, or do I rush forward and try to change everything and do everything, or do I try to find some balance in the middle? And eventually I'm still kind of getting there, you know, but it took a little while to find that balance, because it's just such a crazy, unexpected situation. You just don't even know what to do. But
the funny thing about balance is, what I've noticed is life is like one moment you're totally in balance, and next moment there is no balance, and it continues to go like this on and on and on and on. Especially for us women, with all of these roles we're fulfilling every day, one moment you're like, I'm totally in control, and next moment you're like, I'm totally not in control, and that's okay. The whole thing is to say to yourself, that's okay. It's okay for me not to be in balance. It's okay for me not to know where I'm going. It's okay. And that's what I was telling you about, like the acceptance part. It's so important. Eckhart Tolle is one of my favorite authors. And this is his thing. He's like, when you accept, you can go beyond. And that is true. It is really true. Because when you accept, you're saying like, wow, yes, it's here. And it can be here. You're not fighting it. And it's really true, because when you're fighting it, you're paying attention to it. So what happens? It gets bigger. It gets bigger. It's gonna get more challenging. You have to like put everything to it to get it under control. But if you're saying like it's okay, you're also saying like, yeah, it's okay. You can be here. Am I feeling miserable today? Yes, I am. And do you know what? It's okay. I know some days I will feel miserable, and that's okay. And before you know, you're not feeling miserable again, because you just let it be.
Yeah.
You just let it be. And I think these are the things. And sometimes I also, when I'm not in my game, I'm also fighting things. And then I realize like, Anita, you're fighting. I should not fight. I should just accept. And then when I accept, everything changes. I'm also more relaxed. I'm like, okay, it's okay. It's like getting out of bed with the wrong feet, they say in Dutch. And then your whole day is like, oh, this is going to be such a bad day. This is going to be such a bad day. And do you see, I just get outside and it's raining and my clothes, everything is wet, and oh, this is such a bad day. And now my client call and the deal is they just pulled away my deal. So this is going to be a terrible day. And you just continue to sit in that row of this is a terrible day. And you're just creating your own new reality of miserable, being miserable the whole day. But if you said like, okay, today I woke up and I did not feel so well. And you know what? That's okay. It's okay. I'm just not happy today. That's okay. And it's okay. And then from there on, you're going to see that your day's going to change. You're like, oh, actually, this is a very good day. I start feeling better now. Yeah. And then it works the same way. And they got this saying like, if you say it's going to be okay, you're going to get right. And if you're going to say you're not going to be okay, you're going to get right also. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Oh, I'm going to fail at this. Trust me, you will do everything to make sure that you're going to fail. Your actions going to be different if you say, I'm going to succeed or I'm going to fail. Your actions and the way you're thinking, it's just, I don't know. It's so you really can create your own reality in that. Because when the mindset left, it's going to go right. It's right. It's going to go right. And these are these important basics to think of every day, especially now, to be like fully aware of these things. So when I feel miserable, I'm like, okay, I can't feel why. It is hard. It is hard to sit at home every day, to not to be able to visit the people you love, to not to cuddle with your friends when you see them, to not to go on holiday. It is hard. And that's okay. It is okay for me to feel miserable. As long as I don't do it like 7 days a week.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't stay miserable.
Yes, because but that's the thing. It is okay, and that's like my whole thing. What I really love is positive psychology, and people are like, "Well, Anita, positive psychology, so you're never negative." That's not true. I can be fully negative if I want to, but I'm not gonna do it all the time. But if I am feeling miserable, I can feel that's also positive psychology because I do accept it. That's the positive part of it. It's okay. It's all part of it. And that's really what positive psychology is about. It's okay. Everything can be there. Do it mindful. So these things, these rules, I always apply them all. And so people think, so you're never negative? Yes, I am. I have like these days which I'm not happy. But it's okay. Acceptance.
Yeah. Very nice. Thank you. Yeah, I really like that. Yeah, accepting the good and the bad, because that's really the real balance of it, is accepting everything, instead of trying to be like, everything's got to be okay somehow, somewhere in the middle all the time, because that's a lot of pressure to even get to that point, to try to be balanced. So yeah, I really like that, accepting your circumstances, and and for me, it's accepting and adjusting, adapting, and moving forward through that way. So yeah, very nice. Thank you for your talk and for all your tips. And yeah, we hope to collaborate with you more coming up soon, I hope. So
yeah, we will.
All right. And so I will bid you adieu and bring up our next speaker, who is Darina, last but not least. And Irene is a Feng Shui, hopefully I say it right, professional and interior designer. And yeah, she's going to tell us about some ways that we can, since we're stuck at home so much, home is super important right now. She's going to tell us why that is and what we can do to create a good, healthy environment for ourselves at home. So, hi, Darina. Can you hear me?
Thank you very much for having me. And yes, hello. Can you hear me? Is it okay? Yes.
I can.
Hello. Thank you very much for inviting me and having me here. We have heard so many interesting things, and all focused on how to navigate in this time. And I also will share some practical and valuable tips. It's more about the home. So yes, we are all now stuck at home, and for longer than we hoped. And we don't know how long still. So for most of us, our homes became a place to work and also a place to rest. So our homes turned into a kind of workspace willy-nilly. And it's not an easy time. What I do, I am a Feng Shui professional, so I guide people in harmonizing their home and work environments in order to lead a happy and healthy life. And at this moment, it's really crucial time, because many people are forced into situation now, which is not natural for already a long time. So what I see around me when I visit my clients and people ask advices, a lot of things about how to arrange your space. A lot of questions are coming up. How do I need to create a corner in my home? What do I have to do with my living room? Where is the best place to work? All these questions for people are coming up. And why it is important, because the surrounding where we are, our direct surroundings, like our homes, have a big impact on our emotions, how we feel. There is a very strong relationship between your surroundings. We all know that spaces, when designed well, can make us feel good, and when spaces can make us also feel tired, and can deprive us from energy. And that is the last thing what we need now to maintain that energy level up. So it is good moment to look around your own home and think whether it is how it is arranged, and whether it is supporting you and giving you, and what is actually happening around. So Feng Shui is not interior design and styling. It is ancient philosophy that is explaining us about the energies of the space. So what we want to is to maintain a healthy energy flow around us in our home, the same way as we want to maintain our own body and the energy in our own body in a healthy way. The same way we need to do in our surroundings. And actually, We need to do it all the time, not only in Corona times, but in Corona times, it's much more, it comes to the surface, it's much more obvious when we stay the whole time at home, because we don't go out, we don't go to the office, so we are not exchanging the energy with other people, because, and this is from energy point of view, energy-wise, is we people are getting energy from other people in a physical form, because everything around us is energy. Nature, plants, fresh air, it's all giving us energy. And when we stay at home all the time, we need to make sure that this is well. So I would, I can talk a lot about this beautiful way of arranging your homes and how to maintain the good and healthy flow in your home. But I would like to point out just a few very, very important things that I think is good to pay attention to right now. So it's important to create in your living room one peaceful place at home where you can withdraw. It can be a chair, it can be a corner, with a nice place that you create for yourself where you go regularly and you withdraw from the world, from the whole, everything what is happening around you, from your work. Some people say, oh, can I install that in my bedroom? That's a question. You can, there are plus and cons. You can, and sometimes it's better not, because then I come to the second very important thing is, look at your bedroom, how it is arranged. It is very important how we sleep, and never, or try at any cost to avoid installing your workspace in your bedroom. I see some clients are doing it and explaining like, oh, you know, now is the time because of my husband is working in the living room, kids have homeschooling, there is no other option, I have to do it in my sleeping room. But installing your workspace or a corner or a desk office in your bedroom is bringing, energy-wise, all the stress, deadlines, issues, things from work obligations, everything is bringing into your bedroom. And that is the last thing you want. You want to have your bedroom really as a sanctuary and a peaceful place to have and enjoy a good, nourishing sleep every night, which is important for functioning. So pay attention to how your bedroom is arranged. Where is the position of your bed? Create a really nice, relaxing atmosphere with colors, materials, everyday fresh air. So even in winter times, 10, 15 minutes, open the windows, get the fresh air in your bedroom, make up your bed every day in the morning hours, so that when you come in the evening, you come to a nice, peaceful place already made up. Pay attention to it, create it so that you create an atmosphere that you lie down and you instantly fall asleep. So all the computers, office desk, televisions, electrical equipment, try to put it out of your bedroom. The same about the fresh air. Fresh air is important because if we don't have oxygen, we can be motivated in our work, we can love our work, we can feel inspired. But if our brain lacks oxygen, then we are tired. So the same pays for the living room or for rooms in your home. At least even in the winter times, get the fresh air in, get the new energy, refresh it, open the windows, get the light inside. When there is a sunshine, let the light in. Light is nutrition for your body, and our body needs natural light in order to function. It's a known phenomena. That's why it also helps to walk around or sport outside, just as the first lady Siobhan was talking. Yes, interrupt every 2 hours your work and go outside. From the energy point of view is also important, because there comes an energy exchange from other different surroundings. If you are stuck in one place for a long time, you get tired. Make change. Also the space, walk around, go, sometimes you can go to another room for 20 minutes, make the telephone call somewhere else, go back to your space. What are other important things is you can place and integrate more natural elements in your surroundings to create the balance. We talked about balance a lot. Why is balance in our surroundings important? Why we want to do it? Again, because there is the surroundings and your direct surroundings have enormous impact on how you feel. They shape your thoughts, emotions, and then also the actions. So it makes difference what you look at if you are working, if you have a view, nice peaceful view, what you look at when you are working, what you look at around yourself, what kind of colors you surround yourself, what kind of objects you have. All these things are important. It even, according to the philosophy, is even 30%, that's 1/3 of all what we attract in our lives and manifest is influenced by our surroundings. It's a lot. So if we can do something to maintain it and to make it good, then it's a good thing. So I would like Kristina to invite to ask some questions. Maybe there are some specific things that people would like to know, or maybe you would like to know, so that I can help with some practical things, tips.
Man, so you got me thinking I need to do a lot of rearranging. That's for sure. Yeah, I have my workspace in my bedroom right now because of just, a lot of the excuses that you said. But the biggest thing is I have this as my background. This is my window, and so my curtains. And so I need to so I'm not actually looking outside, which would probably be nice, right? I'm gonna have to give some more thought to my arranging. That's really good advice. And so you said it. I think you had said it's important to have a dedicated. Is it important to have a dedicated space or a desk, or can you maybe have a space that you later, clear away? What do you think about that?
Yes, it's personal. Every situation in every house is personal and is different. So in every home is a different situation. But it's good to have a dedicated office for each family member, because then you create a kind of order, because chaos and a lot of things and clutter causes stagnation, and that makes us tired. So that's why we want to avoid. And dedicated places are good. So everybody has his own items, his objects around him, and also us. So that is the place where we work. However, as I mentioned before, it is good when you change every now and then your place. So if you have activity like making a phone call and you don't need a PC, go and make that telephone call in another room, looking outside of the window and talking. It's very easy. Sometimes there are really easy and simple things, and do it. Or go to the kitchen, have a glass of water and talk there. It's just this exchange of energy for at least 20 minutes is good. And then you come back to your space. And what is also good is when you can create portable things. So you can move, like you have little wheels and you can move it. So you're a little bit more flexible. And when you are living alone, you have more flexibility than when are more family members. It is also option. And I see you use room dividers. So when you have a small apartment, to create this separation between work corner and the rest of your living space, you can use room dividers. That's what you have behind you is wonderful. Is good, because you separate kind of this workspace with your living space. Yes. And there is one thing, if you have a bedroom and you have a lot of books and shelves around you, it's also a lot of information. So that's not only in Corona times, it's just sometimes I see with clients that they have, so that is also something to pay attention to. We can also work with essential oils and smells, with a diffuser because they influence us. So we can place it in your bedroom or in your workspace even, because citrus like wild orange or lemon, bergamot, and peppermint, they pep you up, and it's easy. And it's within a few minutes, you feel different.
Nice. Yeah. I never thought about, I always think about essential oils to help me go to sleep, but I hadn't thought about it to kind of help me wake up and focus. That's a good idea. Cool. Well, thank you for the information, Darina. And do you have any quick tips about, because you said you could use, don't want a lot of books and information around your bed to help you sleep well. Are there any other quick tips you could give us about making sure you sleep restfully?
Yes. Yes. So when we sleep, we relax and fall asleep well when we have a nice, peaceful energy around us. So bright colors, red colors, bright yellow, and very bright and intense, cheerful colors, which are purple and red, are not recommended because they are active colors. So what we try to choose is colors that are earthy. So dark or metal colors, white. This is the good thing. And look at what you surround yourself with, also in your bedroom. What is above you, above your head? So your head should always be protected. So you have a headboard in your bed, and so you sleep the way that you can control the space. So you can see the space. Never put your bed in a draft between the door and a window or under the window. So, and if there is no other choice under the window, then try to use a high headboard and cushions. So your head is always protected and you have kind of support or safe protection behind yourself, because that is a place where instinctively we can relax. And the same is when you work. When you have a wall behind you, you feel supported and you have a control about the space, and it's called commanding position. There is no successful manager out there or a director who is sitting with his back to the door. So that is also something to pay attention to. There are a lot of still practical tips. We are offering with Madalina, a professional organizer, a beautiful, amazing program, 4 weeks program, with starting 10th February. And it's a wonderful, powerful combination of down-to-earth practical approach of Madalina, professional organizer, and Feng Shui, more energy-wise and spiritual approach to your home arrangement. So we are offering this. And if people are interested, tonight we have a free webinar about it. So we are going to explain tonight at 7:30 all about this program and much more about Feng Shui, energy flow, common mistakes that people make. So feel welcome to join us and learn more about the direct surroundings and how it actually influences us, and now in these times, so important to look at.
Nice. That sounds amazing. And I may have missed it, but where can they catch this webinar tonight, and what time is it?
It is at 7:30, and it's on the Facebook. So it's on my Facebook page and also on Facebook page of Madalina. When you go to my website, there is a direct link to Facebook page, and under events is easy. And when people really interested, send me an email, and then I'll send you a Zoom link to join. Zoom link is available in the event.
Okay, great. Yeah, that sounds awesome. I love that collaboration that you and Madalina are doing. I think that's, that just gives it a more powerful edge with having both sides, the organization and the more spiritual and mindful part of it as well. Very cool. All right. Well, thank you so much, Darina. It was nice speaking with you and having you join us.
Thank you for having me, Kristina. It was a very nice experience for me to do this kind of 15 minutes talk and to also listen to other ladies, all the beautiful and practical, fantastic tips. Thank you very much.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. And yeah, so I wanted to try to bring everybody up at the end so we could kind of have a chat, but I'm really scared to do that now after what happened the last time, because I think we all, or I got disconnected. But let's see, I'm going to, hold on, I'm going to read some of these comments I got, and then I'm going to bring up a couple of you. So Starling's watching. Hi, Sterling, glad you were here, if you're still here. And she said, a nice way to move a bit while we sit at our desk. She said, thanks for she likes that exercise that you did, Irene. And Irene, who is founder of Mind About, she also commented, and Irene is another one of the wellness experts in our group. She just did the NLP workshop recently, and she's going to do another one next month for us. And she left a comment saying, I would also like to stress the importance of rituals in our life, whether they are self-pampering rituals or business growing rituals, as they ground us back in the now, no matter the imbalance in the outside world. And they can be so small as concentrating on our breath for 2 minutes after waking up, or writing one line in my journal after coffee. And she also recommends a good read called Atomic Habits by James Clear. So that might be something to check out. And I think, ladies, you can unmute yourselves, and if you have anything you would like to add or ask the other participants, or you can in the chat and I'll pull you up. But let's see, I don't think we have any questions from our audience yet. We do have lots of comments. Have your bedroom as a sanctuary. Yes, I don't have much space. I don't bring any screens into my bedroom so that it's a restful place. I use an actual alarm clock. That's also from Sterling. That is something that I need to find, is a real alarm clock as well. Okay. So let me look. Okay, Dorina, you've read the Atomic Habits. Oh, yeah, we need to see Mel's chocolates too.
Oh, yes.
Okay, I'm going to bring you up, Dorina.
Yes.
You were saying that you also read Atomic Habits, or was that? Yes, Atomic Habits. What is Atomic Habits about? Is it just creating new habits for yourself?
Well, basically it explains how our daily habits, not all of them good ones, can actually stand in the way of your success or health, and that how step by step and small step changing these habits can really make a difference in your life. And that is realizing, well, first step is like tracing your habits which are not good for you. And then once you trace them, of course, lovingly embrace that this is me, but I would like to change it. So let's try to do it in a different way. Let's try to develop a new habit. And the book is basically about how to do it, and it's quite insightful. Yes.
Great. Thank you. All right, I'm going to bring Mel up real quick because I know she has to go soon. And Siobhan, let me just, I know.
Oh, hello.
You're having to go soon too. So let's say goodbye.
Bye.
And
I just wanted to say thanks.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think I have a little bit of lag between you and me. But yeah, if anyone is looking for a consultation or personalized exercise programming, I'm available, so you're welcome to get in touch. I'm Siobhan-Milner.com. Otherwise, thank you, Kristina, for hosting.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Thanks.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye. All right, and Mel. Chocolate time. I think you're muted. Let me unmute you. Oh no. I'm seeing it in slow-mo, which is really funny, but you're on mute. Can't hear you.
Oh my goodness. So let's start again. So here they are. As you can see, I added a little hazelnut because I thought I'd make Ferrero Rocher ones. But you can add nuts, other nuts, you can add seeds, you can add hemp, you can add superfoods, and it's literally just melted chocolate, nut butter, mix it all together, whack it in the fridge, 5 minutes, and you've got an amazing chocolate treat that loves you back. And I think that's all we want as women and entrepreneurs, is chocolate that's good for you, and that you can eat without feeling guilty. And I am going to polish this off throughout the day and feel good about it.
Very good. Yeah, that's amazing. I think I'm going to need to do that.
I'm going to have to send you some, I think.
Yes, I'm always happy to taste test, and yeah,
Cool.
Always happy to get anything in the mail. All right, Mel, thank you so much. And
thank you for hosting. It's been great.
Yeah. We'll see you again soon. All right, ladies, I'm going to bring some of you up so we can say our goodbyes, and you can also tell everybody one last time how to reach you. Hey, Irene. I think you're oh, I'm pushing a lot of buttons. Sorry, guys. Wait.
Yes.
Okay, now I got 2 people up here. All right, Irene. Thank you. And I have your website here, and you're on Facebook and LinkedIn. Yeah.
Also Instagram. Yes. And yeah, Kristina, I just want to thank you for having us, and and also Anita and Darina, Siobhan and Mel. It's been really inspiring and really good to connect with like-minded women.
Yeah. Yep. I love it. It's always great sharing the knowledge and being inspired and helping each other empower ourselves. It's great. I love events like this. All right.
Yeah.
And so I will. Yeah. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you for everything, for having us. Indeed, it is very inspiring always to sit with other ladies who are also working on well-being, on different parts of well-being, and it's so cool to hear all these things. And this is also what I mean with upgrading, taking part on these kind of sessions. You're already upgrading. It's like if you look into your day, and every time you hear something new, which you've never heard before, or something that comes back again, you're upgrading. And it's actually very easy to upgrade, but we are not always aware of that. And just being aware, crediting ourselves for that already gives you a very good feeling about yourself. And these kind of things are so important. And I love the Feng Shui story because it's so true. It's so true, especially the bedroom part. It's just the space of nothing, actually, just the bedroom and empty. Yeah, I really love that. Yes, well, for Black Ladies Talk, if people want to upgrade their lives, if you're like, I'm here with a challenge or just a question which I have no idea how to solve it, where to start, just connect me. You can find me on my website, but also on Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm actually almost everywhere. And I'd love to help people to upgrade. So that's, like I said, that's where I get out of my bed for every day.
Awesome. Amazing. Thank you, Anita. It was great having you here.
Thank you.
See you again soon. All right. Bye-bye. And Darina, one last goodbye. Thank you so much for your talk. You had so much useful information, and I really appreciate you coming today.
I appreciate the invitation because sharing these tips can help people make instant changes and improve. So that is what my work is. And well, people can always join the workshop. I am guiding people and harmonizing in different ways, courses, workshops. And as I mentioned, there is a tonight opportunity, and that is for free at 7:30. So I hope I hope people come, and I hope I find you there, because we are going to share really more tips and also explain about the program of 4 weeks, which is going to be amazing, because we are going to talk about every lesson about one space, how to arrange it in your home. So kitchen, living room, hall, front door, or some of the most neglected areas in our home, but very important. So, and we move towards the springtime and decluttering and getting your house clean. We get supported by the energies of spring, and that is the best time to do it. So I warmly invite you to look at the program.
All right, thank you. Yeah, don't miss out on that webinar tonight, people. 7:30. So, and it's free. That's really awesome. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of really good information, and then your program sounds amazing. So, yeah, looking forward to hearing more about that. All right, ladies, that is the end of our session. I believe, yep, I don't see, oh, Irene wants to add something else. Let's bring her up.
Yeah, no, I just thought, because I've been organizing a lot of kind of also talks on internations, especially. And I just happened to be talking about the theme of trauma, kind of trauma awareness, how it impacts the body, how it impacts our life. And it's on internation. I share the link to you. I don't know if it's visible to everyone, but this is kind of the official event, so that all members, like basic or paying members of information, they have access to it. So it's part of the global online global talks and webinar.
Nice.
Of the
Okay.
community. Yeah, that's it. What I want to add. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for joining us, and I will see you soon, I'm sure. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. That was a great session. I'm so happy with everybody who was able to show up. I'm glad that things went pretty smoothly for the most part. This is for the first time doing a roundtable, first time using StreamYard. It's a pretty cool platform. And I get to do these really cool banners and stuff. So yeah, I can recommend that if you're looking for a way to stream for your business. But yeah, so thank you so much for everyone who came. I think it's super important that we really think about these ways that we can take care of ourselves, because as I think most of the ladies in here said, and Anita was pointing out, you need to fill your cup first before you can help other people. You have to make sure that you're in a good place before you can help others. And I think most of the women in our group, and a lot of women entrepreneurs, their biggest goal is to help other people. And so you got to make sure you help yourself first. And so these things are really, really good ways that you can take care of yourself. And I think it's interesting because we may not think about these things in our everyday lives. Maybe we didn't really think too much about it before the pandemic, and now all of a sudden we're like, oh, we got to work on all kinds of stuff. But maybe it's important to think about this after, the crisis, and when things are back to somewhat normal, to make sure that we're always really taking care of ourselves and thinking of the inner work and the healing and the growth that we want in our lives. Always, not just when we're facing crises and challenges. But so that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us. You can check out more about IWNG on iwng.nl. We have our private Facebook for women, expats, and entrepreneurs. And we also have Instagram, and we're on LinkedIn as well. And so we will be doing more programming. We're going to have a lot coming up, a lot of educational activities and a new membership program. And so, yeah, check it out soon. We'll be doing some announcements soon. So keep an eye out. And we also have a newsletter that you can sign up to. And so if you want to sign up for a newsletter, you can do that on our website. And also the link is in the bio and Instagram, and that'll keep you up to date on all things that we're doing and that our partners are doing and our members. And if you want to collaborate or partner with us, you can always email me, Kristina at IWNG.nl, or reach out on Facebook or any of the other platforms. All right, thanks for being here, and I am going to say goodbye now. Bye, everybody.